let's call this meeting to order. This regular meeting of the Washington Planning Commission to order. I will seat myself and Demi and Carol and David and Jennifer. So we have five, we actually have five members actually in the house. It's like, okay, first order of business, the consideration of the minutes of the last meeting. I read them, but they seemed okay, but then again, I wasn't here, so.
You weren't here?
I was not here.
It went well.
Of course it did, I wasn't here.
Jennifer, do you have an extra?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see anything that stuck out to me.
No, I
so-
thought it was good.
I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes.
I'll
Second
second it because I was here.
Okay,
Okay.
You
all in
ran.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'll abstain, so 4-0-1 abstention, because I wasn't here. Okay, motion to include items not on the agenda. Anything on the agenda that someone would like to add? Going once, twice? Moving on. New applications. We have a new application.
Oh, how exciting.
This is so exciting. Well, you know, there's, I don't have to put it on the screen because there's actually nobody logged in on Zoom. Do you want to do this the old fashioned way on the table, or do you
Yeah.
want it up on the screen? It doesn't,
I don't
We can
Paper.
try
Doesn't
it.
matter.
That's fine.
Paper.
let's do it on the paper. Let's do it, let's.
Well, the PDF does.
Record. Oh, you
Because
don't
you
use
can't
video.
orient the PDF to what you
Sometimes
would
it
think
does.
is normal.
On the screen.
On the, yeah, off the PDF, it looks weird.
Okay.
That's what I mean by that. Oh, that's what.
That's what that. I'm trying to get that.
They got bigger fish to fry.
Okay, so I actually got a chance to take a look at this some. This is, now for those of you who don't know, do you all know where this property is? Okay, well, this is, here's the New Milford line. This is Popple Swamp coming down. This is Upper Churchill Road. And this, then I think this is Sunset Lane here, I think maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is, yeah.
This is, the back 100 for Whiteheads. They had this property for sale. And there's some old easement here that goes right down to Churchill Road. Who knew? You know, it's a
Wow, it goes
50
all
foot
the way to
right away.
109.
Goes
Somebody
right to
better use a
109.
foot.
To 109?
Yeah.
Oh,
So, anyway, it's 119 acres. It was recently purchased, and the owner, the applicant, is proposing a 5-lot subdivision here. So,
Interesting.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It's
really,
like,
that's clever.
Drove those.
now, it's also interesting, it's like, well,
Road access.
yeah, well, yeah, it has to do with, yeah, well, these two will front on Popple Swamp.
Mhm.
This one will front on Upper Church Hill. This is obviously an interior lot, and believe it or not, this is actually an interior lot because although it looks like it fronts on Walker Brook Road,
No,
it actually doesn't.
no, it's not.
It comes really close, but it doesn't actually meet Walker Brook
Mhm.
Road. So this is technically an interior lot. Although, because the road here, Upper Churchill bends here. So that's kind of,
Where's that mega
So this
house
one?
that they've been building relative?
that's
Oh, it's
down.
right
It's
down
down,
there.
it's right, it's actually down, it's over like
Yeah.
here.
It doesn't happen to be.
The
same.
11-bedroom tasteful
yeah,
cottage.
It's
yeah.
before Sunset. It's gotta be really close to the corner there.
Yeah, it's somewhere in here, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What street is that?
Well, this is Sunset, this is Upper Churchill.
Yeah, right in the triangle.
Mhm.
It's in the Bermuda Triangle.
So,
So wait, this is a driveway going to the
this is,
interior
this is,
lot?
this is proposed easement for a driveway to this
Left
lot.
off.
And this is a proposed driveway
Both coming
easement to
from
this lot, both coming
Upper
from
Churchill.
Upper Church Hill. So,
Are they making two cuts?
They're not gonna share the driveway.
no, they're not sharing, it's basically, each one has a 50-foot right of way, so there's a
Yeah.
100-foot
Oh, I
cut
see
here.
what they're doing.
There's a 100-foot cut here, and obviously there'll be cuts here and here.
Mhm.
But, but they're gonna make one entrance and then split it?
That I don't know. I mean, it
Yeah.
looks like
So
they
it's-
could. They're next to each other. So,
Well,
That
that
would
would
make
be,
sense.
it'd be weird to.
well, and plus, you know, it's this one bisects this lot, which is
Yeah.
kind of, you'll
Right.
see it's kind of odd. I mean, a driveway can serve up to 3 lots.
Yeah,
before it has to become a road. So there's, you know, either way they want to do this, it's not
Yeah,
gonna, it's not
yeah.
gonna conflict with the regulations.
no, I'm just thinking it's an odd place to have.
Why
two
do-
Why
cars.
don't we open,
Why don't we look at the next ones? Is there a reason why they did that? Because of wetlands or something?
Well, here's the existing conditions, okay?
Out of hayfields.
Mhm.
So the driveway cuts are
The
here.
driveway cut is here. Well, this is all wet through here. That's the, you know, here's the wetlands by, okay, look, here's why. This is
That's
wet
why.
here. This is wet here. There's this one little spot where it's
That's
not
why.
wet. That's why they're putting it where they're putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Otherwise,
the
yeah.
Houses are in the hayfields.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah, so now we know why they're putting
Yeah,
the
yeah,
driveways
yeah.
where they're putting the
There had to
driveways.
be a reason.
Yeah, because even then they're gonna have to get some, you know, I'm sure what inland wetlands.
Well,
is
yeah,
gonna
we're
look at
already
that.
looking at that.
Yeah.
We're looking
Mhm.
at that.
So-
I think they have a, no, they're gonna schedule a site inspection at the next meeting.
Okay,
Well, it would make more sense if they did, well, no, they have to do 100 feet because they each, good luck. All right.
Well, it's not that they can't.
No,
It's that they, if they do, they have to show that they've made every effort to not impact the
Yeah.
wetlands.
right,
And they're gonna have to show the engineering and stuff to
it would
show
just makes
that.
so much more sense to do one cut and then split it.
Mhm, mhm.
yeah,
Okay,
and,
well, that's their
Well,
problem.
that's, the wetlands will, and Paul will have to explain himself.
Yeah,
right, so, yeah, so this is the existing conditions, I mean, you know,
right.
it's either, basically it's wooded or wet or it's hayfields, and
Mhm.
there's like a half a dozen or so hayfields scattered around this
Mhm.
property. Okay, so here is the,
Soils.
oh,
that's
sorry,
soils. This is.
yeah, here's the actual, here's the record map, or basically what would become the subdivision plan. It's not a subdivision plan yet. Showing the lots. So this is kind of weird because this lot is like this.
Mm.
Yeah, you know, the other thing that,
He may have done that to meet the soil requirements.
I'm sure he did, although this shows us 2.6 dwelling units. So they didn't have to make this lot this big.
Yeah, but there's a lot of water there.
So that's like the max you could do here? Like this one says 9.
That's how many, that's how many
Two.
housing units, single family units you could get on this big thing. This could be 2.23 dwellings.
I think the owner's obviously
owner's gonna
taking
put
like
his-
lot 5.
He's
Yeah,
taking, he's putting his modest whatever here. Um,
10 bedroom.
The soil overlay.
Yeah.
I just got it working.
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean you just got it working?
Well, I've never, it just looks different, like when I do it.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, that they have some new system
New
up there. Yeah.
Like
I was like, where are my soils?
You know, the other thing I'm wondering is like, why does he even need 2 access ways? I mean,
Yeah.
why don't you just do this and then
And-
this one just goes
yeah.
to, I mean.
Right.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
this, and you just, you split here.
I mean,
I mean, this is all the same lot. What is he, I mean,
Well, those are questions we can ask.
yeah, I mean, I mean.
does he want to have a special gate for each driveway? Because sometimes they do.
Mm.
With a nice
I-
pillar and a couple of.
Lion heads and,
Lions.
yeah, gargoyles. I don't know. I mean, it just seems, but I mean, I mean, you'll see in the other maps, the house he wants to build is basically
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So I'm like, well,
Yeah, no, I
why
agree
not
with you.
just, I mean,
Make it simple. Okay.
okay, so there we are. That's kind of the, all right, so. Okay, so what they have to do here is they have to show like what they call proposed re-subdivisions, because some of these lots can be re-subdivided. Like this one could potentially be re-subdivided, right? So they're basically what, they have 2 of these maps, right? Or is it just the same map and just 2 copies? Map number 1 and map number 2, so this is,
For the yellow lines, what we're looking at?
You said-
Nothing.
No,
no, the
What are
yellow,
we
Oh,
looking?
this one shows houses.
right, well, this one just shows the
potential lot
the
division.
potential division.
Uh,
complete
My
build.
eyes are getting bad. Are those
So
two,
that's
2 foot?
5.
These are 2-foot contours.
Yeah.
He's
okay.
proposing
Mhm.
5 lots.
Yeah, you see like here, it drops off like a rock down towards
Yeah,
water. where you come
yeah.
in. That's like,
And then this thing too, right?
yeah,
And
that's,
there's a
that
house
slopes way,
on the
this,
house right
yeah,
here
this
at
is,
the
this is
pool.
basically the high
That's,
spot.
that's the pool that,
Yeah, the-
what's his name?
Kind of dark.
Yeah, Dark
stained
House, yeah.
black or
Yeah.
whatever,
That was that's the last subdivision
Yeah,
we
we
did.
did, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, this is your first subdivision, right?
Mhm.
Your first subdivision?
That's mine
I
for
think
sure, right?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Might
I-
have just done one right when I got it.
Okay. Okay,
5
so,
years.
uh,
A lot of action.
okay, so that basically, that's this map with proposed houses. Now, these don't have to stay. They just have to show that it's feasible to.
Who's in a driveway?
What's this?
That's the
So-
loop. He can go this way maybe. Oh, that's his,
The driveway going in
That's the
between the garage and the
caretaker's,
main house?
house maybe. out
Why,
there.
why is this even
The
necessary?
Hope lives in the garage.
Well,
Like the
well, my
gatehouse,
point was, why
right?
didn't
Yeah,
you just
they
keep a
just-
driveway
yeah,
here and
yeah,
eliminate
yeah.
this?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Guards
yeah.
out there.
It's
Yeah.
Whoever,
You
I
need
don't
that stuff.
I don't know, okay, well.
I mean, I
okay.
wonder how, this, I mean, at the end of the day, whoever buys this lot, they're gonna want their house here and then the garage here and then, sharing this
know. No way.
driveway.
That's bizarre.
It's bizarre.
They're
Um,
saying that's the main house for that? I thought
Yes.
it was like the gatehouse for this.
No, it's the main house for this lot.
Wow.
I mean, from what I understand, this is the only one that's going to be built
And the
right
guy's
now.
gonna drive through.
I,
Yeah, I wouldn't put
That's
that there
crazy.
if they were gonna be driving through it.
Come
I
on.
know.
well, they might not have a lot of choice. I mean, there's, this
No
is
legend.
all wet here, right?
Not
I
really.
mean,
Yeah, they're not exactly.
it's like,
Well,
I don't
this,
think this is buildable.
this makes no sense
Well,
whatsoever.
and I,
That's why you
the
didn't get
soils are
this place.
bad.
Ooh.
Right.
They're like,
Yeah. they were
That's
D,
all
D,
D.
D.
Orange and purple, any shade of purple and orange are not good. And then C is like,
Oh.
nah.
Wow.
yeah, and that's this whole property, that's why.
Well, I'm saying, yeah, like this
They
whole
can,
thing here
Yeah.
is wet.
They
This
can
is-
somehow get
so that's
septic
why
on
the-
here, right?
That's why
Yeah.
they can only do 5 lots.
Are these the septic systems?
Yeah.
Those are the leach fields, yeah.
Okay.
Proposed leach fields. They show a well, a proposed well too, and they have the 75-foot setback from, so, I mean, they obviously, there's nothing here that raises a red flag other than some puzzling decisions about,
layouts.
yeah,
I mean, I don't understand, this makes no sense to me. Why would anybody want to buy a property where the house
Where this
and the
guy's gonna
garage are
drive.
Right.
divided by somebody
Someone
else's?
else's driveway.
Only if they clear it for you in the winter.
That's right.
yeah,
Oh, and I
Those
live at
stone-
the
oh,
end of
those
one
are
of those.
stone
and-
walls.
Yeah,
I was
these
gonna
are
Say,
ste-
why are they splitting it? Like,
existing?
why are they coming in, on the other side?
Yeah, well, that would be my first biggest question.
yeah. The other thing I don't see here, and it's not a requirement of the, hey, look who's here.
Yeah, so I guess it's my calendar for 7:30 and it's 7.
Oh, that's okay.
Sorry about that.
But we need to be careful what we talk about.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we're just having a preliminary discussion
Yeah,
here.
no worries.
All right.
Good evening.
Good evening. This is Paul Samansky, by the way, for those of you who don't know. It's like, okay,
All right,
so,
good, next map.
all right. Here, okay, these are individuals for each lot, site development plans, and they're
Right,
just, they're basically zoomed in on the proposed house
What are they
locations.
saying this is?
Proposed temporary soil stockpile with
Oh,
silt
oh,
fence.
Oh, yeah,
right,
this is for like,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, I just wasn't sure if they were like talking about a tree or a pool or,
no,
They
I
do have
mean,
a pool.
of course they-
it's
Yeah.
all proposed.
5
so.
bedroom.
Yeah, and they're just
Oh,
showing what
Yeah,
could,
yeah,
take
yeah,
place
okay.
here. And I think there's one of these for each of the 5 lots. This is the,
Sort of the construction. of it.
yeah.
Right. and, yeah, I don't really see any setback issues.
Well, the pieces are big enough.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean,
It's mostly a wetlands problem for them.
right.
Mhm.
Okay, here's the,
It says proposed driveway.
Maybe I don't understand.
All right, so,
Yeah.
I mean,
And then-
it's just a concept.
I hope so.
We
Well, that's there.
consult, Paul.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, well, we can, when,
Yeah,
during the public hearing, we can ask about that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a violation.
no.
So
no,
it's
just
not,
seems- it
it's,
just seems-
that's fine.
And it's just what you could do, right? It's not a-
Right, it's proposed. So, I mean, they need to show,
Gotta be a reason they did it.
well, and since it's an interior lot, you have two interior lots here, you need to show how you're gonna access them, so. Or at least how you're proposing
Yeah.
to access them. And I get this because there's wetlands here and there's
Yeah,
wetlands
no,
here.
I get
That's,
that too.
that's why,
It's just-
that's why that's
this
where it's
is the-
going in.
This is the, it's this,
Well, it just seems like a gatehouse.
yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
But it's a separate lot.
Maybe they won't sell it.
Maybe,
Yeah, that's true.
But it does
Maybe.
look like a gate.
yeah,
That's what
it
I'm
does.
saying.
Yep. Okay, and here's this is the other, the smaller of the two interior lots.
Four?
And there's a building.
Look at
Interesting.
Yeah, okay,
that. The boomerang.
why not?
Boomerang
All
design.
the kids.
It may
Yeah.
have to do with view.
Yeah, I bet, yeah, because this is downhill.
Yeah,
I bet that's a great
yeah, I
view.
think it's a view thing.
Yeah, Yeah.
That's just you.
yeah, it's like these architects, you just,
Yeah,
they
they can't.
they can't help themselves. Yeah.
Does it say utility line going down that driveway and then cutting across to the other lot? So the utilities are going that way, but the driveway's going through the other lot.
This looks like a utility, yeah,
And this is-
yeah, underground, this is underground a utility, yeah,
That's
Yeah.
nice.
so,
Get a gatehouse for that. so
Yeah, they gotta have
like-
Yeah.
yeah, it's like something's gotta line up those lines.
Eyeballs.
Yeah, yeah. I can't unsee that now, thank you very much.
That's like
Oh, proposed
Proposed
limit
limit
of
of
disturbance.
line of disturbance.
Yeah, this is the site development plan, so they're showing,
Yeah,
whether they would.
so, yeah, even though it could potentially be this instead of that, whatever.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah, well, here's where the proposed utility
Yeah.
line's coming in.
Going
Well,
straight to the garage.
Yeah, well, again, we can ask about that when we actually
Yeah.
open the public hearing. Okay, this is just the stuff that they propose using for, erosion control measures and whatever.
good.
This is kind of,
And
basically
that's the end. of it.
boilerplate. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's, Shelley, you did a pretty much a preliminary, application review. One thing I didn't see on there, but it may not be due at this point, there was nothing in there about fire protection. I didn't see any cisterns located or
I didn't see that either.
or anything. Of course, I don't know. I would think maybe we would probably want to wait until we saw the lay of the land on a site visit to see if that was even going to be an issue. I mean, some of those, the proposed driveways, there were some turns, but I didn't see a lot of steep slopes. I didn't imagine, the fire department's gonna have a problem with, switchbacks and access and whatever. But again, that can be brought up, at the actual public hearing. Okay, again, this is just a preliminary application. Paul, is there anything you would want to add or say just in general about this? I mean, it's.
I'll be on time
we-
next week.
That's okay.
Yeah, we definitely switched our planning meetings to 7.
That's okay, totally do it.
It's okay. It's like.
You made it on
Yeah,
Tuesday.
just.
It's usually on Wednesday.
No, just if you guys have any questions, if you look at the plans, just let Shelley know and I'll answer them prior to the next. meeting.
Okay, yeah,
I
you're,
took notes on what you said tonight. so.
yeah, there was a couple things you had mentioned in your preliminary review.
Yeah, and that was sent to Paul. I
Oh,
sent it
okay, you
to
saw,
Paul.
okay.
Yeah, and then we responded.
Yeah, okay, good. So, well, look, the question then is, well, we have to set a public hearing for this. That, we don't have a choice, sorry. It's like, the question is, the question is when we want to set the public hearing. I mean, we actually, because of the calendar, we could actually do it, we could set it for our next regular meeting in August, or we could actually set it for our regular meeting in September. Because we have 65 days, and the September date is day 64. Just
Actually,
speaking-
September 11th is 65.
Oh, so we're
pretty-
well
we're-
ahead.
we're well on.
okay. The other issue is that, Wetlands hasn't, just got this, right? They haven't scheduled a site visit yet.
Yeah, Bob, there was a little
Yeah,
confusion.
he thought that
Yeah.
planning had to act before.
Yeah,
wetlands.
Oh,
And to let you guys know, planning or wetlands has to provide a report to you guys, and it's basically the form of the minutes and their motion or whatever.
Right.
It's not like this big formal report, and it's advisory.
Right, but in order for us to consider it, we have to have it by the public hearing.
Right.
Because we can't, if they give it to us after the public hearing's closed, then we can't.
And I think they do want to be a part of it. They do
Yeah,
want
okay.
to provide. feedback.
My question is that if we schedule a public hearing for our next meeting on August, whatever, would Wetlands have made their,
Well, I just
Make
like,
a
it,
move.
then it starts the dialogue, we can
Mhm.
always continue the public hearing,
Okay.
and then by
Okay.
statute, we have up to 65 days of extensions, we can grant you to close the public.
okay, I mean, I just don't want to hamstring Wetlands. It's like if we
No,
schedule it for
no, no, if-
August
If
and
we don't have wetlands decision, we can start having a dialogue.
And
answer
just,
all your
and then
other
leave it
questions,
open
and
until the
you'll-
next one and then close
Yeah,
it,
and
because
then
I
we're
don't
just
see
waiting
any
for-
major issues here. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
We tried to keep it simple,
yeah, so,
it's been 20 years, since we did a subdivision in town, I think.
well, it's been, we haven't had a subdivision period in this town in like 7 years, 8 years.
Well, the Ingracia thing was a kind of a.
That's when I came. on.
Ironically, mine was diagonally across
That's
the
the
street
one,
at
the
the
last
intersection.
one.
Yeah.
Beaver.
It was 3 or 4 lots.
You were here for Ingracia Part Two.
At the right end, yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a re-subdivision,
Yeah.
actually.
It
wasn't
was an unsubdivision. They went from 6 lots to 4 lots because they botched yeah. It's the only case I've ever been to where we ended up with fewer lots than they started.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not technically illegal, but it was, they kind of backed into compliance. Anyway. Yeah, so that's the last one we've had, and that was 8 years ago. Okay, so, well, if the applicant's fine with us scheduling a public hearing for the next regular meeting,
August 7th.
that'll be August 7th. So I would move that we schedule a public hearing for this proposed 5-lot
Second.
re-subdivision for our next meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I would also, we don't have to do this, but I think it might be good to have a site visit. And we could coordinate that with you.
Yeah, just let me know. and-
In fact,
For the public hearing, right?
yeah, before the public hearing, and, when does Wetlands meet next? Because we might be able to just save you guys a trip and do this.
Next Wednesday.
If they schedule a site visit, maybe we can piggyback and just
Yeah,
save
that's
you a
fine.
trip.
And
we
that would
both-
be good because they usually have somebody do their minutes for the
Um,
site inspection.
Yeah.
And they're pretty thorough, because I don't attend this.
Okay. Well, look, why don't we all agree in principle here that we
Yeah,
will,
right.
we'll want to do a site visit, and let's let Wetlands schedule theirs, and we'll talk to Bob and see if we can
Mhm.
piggyback and save you guys a trip
And what
out.
we do is we typically stake out the center line of the driveways, the homes, and then the ends of the septic galleries, so you get an idea of where it is in relation to where.
Yeah. I don't
It
know.
won't be on the weekend.
No, they usually do them during the day,
What we
during the
can
week.
do.
Rain or shine too, they're a hardy bunch.
Well, if I get a signal, if I get a signal, I think you can get a signal up there. I can put you on my phone. Okay.
Our
Oh, we
wetlands
don't,
crew are
okay, David, how's
hardy
that look? Yeah. We'll, how about, we'll defer to wetlands. So, you know, they do a lot more site visits than we do,
Mhm.
so let's just piggyback on theirs and,
Okay.
you know, I'll bring the phone and I'll zoom you on the phone. It's like,
I'll try to come. Never know.
okay, so for now,
Sounds fantastic.
that's,
Thanks for
that's,
Appreciate your time.
yeah, and, you know, hopefully we can move this along for your client,
Sounds
okay?
good. We'll shoot for the moon, land on the road.
Okay, yeah.
Have a great day, everyone.
All right, thank you, Paul, take care.
Thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
Okay, wow, we're actually gonna have a subdivision. Can you believe that? That's like, of course, it's a
With
119
enormous
acre
lots, but-
parcel.
Right, that's gonna be
It's
a
like-
big walk.
Well, how many acres?
20-acre lots, right?
Well, one of them 60 something acres. It's like,
We're not talking affordable housing, are we?
Yeah.
3-hour walk.
Well, it
Yeah.
has actually built-in conservation easements because of the wetlands.
ATVs or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but he's
oh, that's
not
one thing I didn't ask. I
Really walk.
I saw no, set aside, are they gonna pay a fee?
I
Or
think that's what we're
four-wheelers.
gonna have to ask
Yeah,
at the
well,
public hearing, but I
okay.
think that was one of the things you and we all
Sure.
talked about, remember when we met with them, is that because of the wetlands, they're kind of built, it's kind of a built-in conservation easement.
Right.
Because you can't build in those areas.
Yeah, so much of this land is effectively eased
Yeah.
because it's so wet, you know,
Yeah.
other than maybe growing hay on some of it, there's really nothing you can do. Yeah, it's, I mean,
It's all right.
and even so, I remember talking to Whitehead for years, like the reason he stopped haying a lot of that land is that he would have trouble getting in there to actually hay it
Mhm.
because it was so wet. The hay would be ready and he
Yeah.
couldn't get it, he literally couldn't put his tractor on the land to cut it
And then the
because
hay rots, right?
if you leave it too long, yeah, it's like there's a sweet spot where you want to
Well,
cut.
it's a clay basin, right? Hilltop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Really
I mean, it has no slope, it's just a.
yeah, except for that one part, one corner where it drops off, and the rest of it is, yeah.
We can thank the glaciers for that, yeah.
Yeah.
Inland wetland, so.
Okay.
Which one are you looking at? Are you looking at the soils one?
No.
Oh, no, that, yeah,
wetland.
that's the
Mhm.
wetlands one.
Wetlands,
I
so
was
it's
asking
that
like
whole.
percentage.
So
of
what
wetland.
what I would like to do, I think maybe once a year or something, like we could talk about this. The new assessor site has a land use tab and I have that soils on there and maybe we can, put the zoning and then put the.
Layer of this.
Can you just
Oh.
click on
Really
what you
cool,
want?
cause look,
Yeah.
like
You
here's,
could,
Like we have
here's,
the.
so this is the assessor's
This
map,
is the
so this is
wetland.
the property line.
Wow.
And that, the blue are the.
Wetlands.
Yeah,
Wow.
this just
But
was
this
active
one,
this week.
That one's the soils,
Yeah.
so they're layered there.
Wow.
You
They
just
don't
look
have
down what you
everything that was possible, but me, we talked about this for budget like 4 or 5 years ago. It's-
But let's just say the soils one is done for free.
Nice, free's good,
Free's good.
free's good.
Yeah,
It's like,
it is good.
okay, so,
Those are bad and it's wet.
Well, it's funny, cause
Other than
the
that.
F.
Orange and-
soils
orange
line
and
up
purple.
Right, where
Yeah,
the wetlands
yeah.
is, which makes
Yeah.
sense.
What about-
yeah, and a lot of those are, a lot of those actually look like hayfields.
It's really
Right, but they're
handy
like
and
bodies.
if
Yeah.
land and if property owners would catch on with that, it's really handy to use as a baseline because, somebody will be like, oh, I don't have any wetlands on my property. I'll say, have you checked? And now I have that screen in my office and I'll pull it up and I'll be like, oh, yes, you do. You know?
And the thing, it can be so, even my small piece of land, which is just a couple acres, and it's like, I go from class A to class F.
Mhm.
I mean, literally, my house and my main yard is class A, and you go in my backyard and you get to a certain spot and boom.
Yeah, because
It's
the
wet.
hill.
Yeah, and it's just, and
Well, that's from the runoff down the
Yeah.
slope, right? Is that why?
from the hill,
Yeah.
Church Hill,
Yeah.
and then, well, there's also a spring up the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the edge of my property line. I actually deeded rights to it. It kind of splits on my property. It runs behind other houses. I only know that because I actually have deeded rights to the water.
Cool.
Yeah, that's
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you could-
Oh, back in the day, yeah.
Wayne's. bottled
Gravity.
water.
Yeah.
Spring fed.
Gravity fed.
In 23 years, I went up there once.
Yeah.
It's just like digging through all the underground story and it's just like, okay, there's the spring. All right, yeah. It's like,
Oh, well, we can do it. Sorry, one meeting, as I
okay.
used to say it to everyone, when
What's
they
that?
start doing little small meetings, one meeting first.
okay, so let's move on,
Committee
folks.
reports.
Okay, pending applications, there are no pending applications this evening.
What is it with you?
But next month,
We
we will have a
one.
pending application.
Whoa.
I'm just
Oh.
so excited.
Crazy.
I know, God, it's just, I don't know if we can handle this level of activity, so. Okay, committee reports, sustainability, Carol, anything to, did you guys meet?
Michelle, did we meet?
Yes, we did. Yeah. All right.
I was sick, I don't know, I had
Yeah,
COVID and I can't
Jay
even
was-
think straight sometimes.
Oh, you know what? I just got over it too.
Did you have it too?
Really?
Yeah, it was
Just
Yeah.
bad.
heard it. It was
Uh,
horrible.
Susan and John, Susan Lloyd, John Turner had it,
Horrible, horrible.
yeah, it's
horrible.
been going around.
Wow. So,
Maybe I'll stay
couple
in
of
the
things. So
city.
Jay couldn't
City
do
like
it either,
this.
but we talked about,
Yeah.
there's now a glass recycling out back.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
And plastic and compost is gonna be added to that. Because those are the three,
Can I ask?
Yeah.
Back there, when we don't have very much parking, I mean, I
well,
hate to be a
it's in the, like the
pain in
glass,
the.
the glass is already there. I think
Yeah.
they're just gonna be lined up, or they're gonna build like a little shed in the grass. So
Okay.
that little corner,
Okay,
it's not gonna be
Yeah,
any
they'll be
bigger
using
than
it
that.
on
Okay.
weekends.
And the only
Shed in the
reason
grass.
it's those three is because those are the three that are not picked up at the curb. Everything
Okay.
else is picked up at the curb. Well, glass can be, but,
Mhm.
right,
So
like
what is it again? So glass,
glass, film plastic, and not plastic containers, but film,
Like-
which we, like the grocery store bags kind of stuff.
the
Okay,
thin stuff,
Dry cleaner bags,
Mhm.
ice bags.
gotcha,
Wrappers around cases of water, all that is now
All the
recyclable.
stuff that
Wow.
I can't.
okay.
enjoy.
Yeah.
And what's the other third one?
Compost.
Compost,
Yeah, we're working on that, but that's the intent
Okay.
because those three are not picked up at the
I
curbside.
do those.
So we're trying to make it easier for people because if you're working, you can only really go on Saturday, you know, depending on.
well,
your
I would,
work
I
schedule.
mean, I would use this because it's so close to my house, I
Mhm.
mean,
And
I
it
would
would
just
be
go,
easier. Well,
yeah,
especially for glass, right? Like,
'Cause
you
it's
pick
heavy.
everything at the
It's like-
curb, but I bring that down, it's a pain in the
see,
plaza, so.
I put everything in, I don't take it, I just throw it.
Anyway.
Hey, at least I recycle.
So we talked about that. We also talked about, so we've been talking a lot about the 2-cycle engines, leaf blowers, weed whackers, et cetera. They're extremely polluting, but they're also really noisy. And there've been a lot of complaints coming to the selectman's office about noise. But because of state statute, we can't really regulate the hours. It's like a protected industry, the lawn maintenance, whatever.
Didn't they send you an article where there was a town that did
Yes.
regulate that?
I think Ridgefield does.
I forget what town.
There is
No,
a
but that,
town that
no,
would
they're
go
outlawing
Ridgefield would be
2-cycle
good.
engines.
Huh?
This article you
I'm
sent
on their
me, they're
page,
outlawing
and-
2-cycle engines.
In
Right.
my
My
hometown,
hometown.
Begins with a W.
Westport.
I don't remember. I scanned it in. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Anyway, what we decided to do is to focus on, I mean, whatever. The plan is to come up with a plan to focus on educating, trying to convince the landscaping companies that moving to electric is better because it will cost less in the long run and they can promote themselves as environmentally friendly and neighbor friendly, like the Quiet Company or the Earth Friendly Company or environmentally, whatever, sustainable company. So we're gonna, instead of, because we were very limited on the noise ordinance component, but there are several towns in Connecticut that have already outlawed 2-cycle engines.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try, but we were also talking about an ordinance to give property tax abatement to electric machinery. So if you're a business, you're paying tax on your equipment,
Equipment.
but you can exempt certain things.
The
Yes, you
ones
can.
that register in Washington.
So for any company, and, you know, truthfully, well, homeowners can't because it's not their business.
It's not
But
business
we wanna try to incentivize just shifting those to electric, they're quieter, they're better for the environment. We don't wanna penalize, don't wanna be overly,
It's not,
punitive.
the tax abatement's not an insignificant thing. I mean, because I've benefited from that for years in recording business. All of our recording equipment is tax exempt because it falls under the film
That'd be a good
industry.
incentive.
Because, you know,
What?
yeah,
The amount that we pay at the animal is really remarkable, all those X-ray machines and blood machines.
yeah, but I don't get
Anyway,
it.
computers, whatever.
Yeah,
So those are the two big things. Well, and we also talked about some permanent metal signs for, about idling and the fact that there is a state law that has a 3-minute max. So
Mhm.
to, you know, we had.
Who's monitoring that? We're not-
Yeah.
sorry.
No, but it's a
Yeah.
DEP, it's not, but
We'll have to get a Karen squad going.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just kind of nice to know.
I mean,
that-
I don't know, do people,
Walking
I
by.
approach-
Yeah, no,
do people leave there?
Absolutely.
They do?
Oh, yeah.
At the food
I
market.
Post
never do
office.
that.
Spent in the market,
Yeah.
I approached a
Really? I
company,
never did that.
yesterday, as a matter of fact, and
Unless there's a dog in
so
it.
that the
No,
truck is
no,
idling
this
in, the, you know, the
this is
side
to
of the
keep the air
road, and,
conditioning going.
you know, I go up and I'm gonna ask them, there's nobody in it.
Yeah.
I know, do people leave stuff in the?
What
I
if
don't
it,
know
what if
that-
it, and it only is for gas cars, because battery cars, that doesn't apply to, right? They don't need to.
They're not, really,
Well,
well,
my,
if you're
my
not
mom,
moving, it
my
just turns off.
stepmom has a, whatever those cars are,
Tesla?
Tesla, and
That's
she
what I
leaves it running, and it has like a little screen that says, "Don't worry, my mom's coming back," something
Oh,
about the
yeah.
dog.
Oh,
I have
the
that
dog,
with
yeah,
the
but it's
screen.
just
I
running
have
off
it
of
for the
batteries,
dog.
so
Oh,
that
okay.
it doesn't
So
matter.
there's no
There's no
emissions.
exhaust,
There's
yeah,
no
no
emissions.
emissions. I mean, we did an
Just so you
article
don't
in the
break the window
newsletter
and get the dog
about,
out.
Yeah.
we did a postcard, we had a banner, we
Uh-huh.
had the sandwich boards about the idling and the CO2 emissions and the fact that you don't
yeah,
need to do
I
it.
think it's worth it. It's kind of like my crusade to get people to trim their hedges around the lake. I'm gonna kind of drill it into their head.
Isn't there an ordinance or regulation, it only can be, was it 8 feet or something like that?
No, 2 feet
Yeah, well, how about
from the center.
those people just put up a whole row, no one said a word?
That's not, it's not gonna create a hedge. It's not gonna create a hedge. I actually looked into the trees that were the thing. But other people that have not maintained it, have not maintained, they normally planted their trees and yeah, they were like, you know, a couple feet high when they never maintained them and now they're 8 feet tall. But
And they're a de facto hedge now because of.
And some people have a pre-existing non-conforming fence, and then they planted a hedge behind it. And they thought, ha, 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 ha.
Sounds like,
But then no, but then it's not supposed to be higher than their fence. So, I mean, I'm gonna try to get it taken care of, but it's gonna take a while and maybe I can be as annoying and somebody will do something.
And, you know, the plan calls for stricter land use regulations.
that's
around
right,
the
they
lake. So
shall,
maybe we
everything
can,
is shall now,
that
right?
we can, you know, we'll just tell,
Right, didn't we decide
yeah,
that?
you know, we shall invoke stricter land use regulations around the lake. So that you're not, so you know, you don't have to go there and just say, you know, it would be the neighborly thing. You can go there and say, hey, you shall do this because
You
it says
shall
so
not
right here.
pass.
I think I should at least have one day out of the month where I can go out on my board and check things.
Yeah.
Today would have been a
I
good
think you can
day.
get away with that.
Yeah. I'm, all in favor?
Yeah.
Done.
What happened to the wakeboard? thing? The wake boat?
Well,
They're studying.
They're studying.
Studying, oh, well,
task
in
the
force
meantime,
is
enough
paying
there.
for a
Still
study.
waiting, right?
Pardon?
The task force stepped up and they're paying for a study.
Oh, okay, well,
And,
maybe 2 or 3 years.
I thought this
It'll
Time
be,
to
well,
study.
they were already there, they're coming back in August, And I think it'll be done, probably in 10 years.
There's monitors on the bottom of the lake, right?
Yeah,
They've got
they've got
equipment
things,
out
they
there.
put things
okay,
out.
cool. All right, good.
Yeah.
Enough said, I'm happy. All right,
I tried to look, but they told me to get lost.
yeah.
Lovely.
They had some things zipping across the lake.
Okay.
It was kind of cool. Drone. It was kinda
Oh, drones.
neat. Yeah,
Mhm.
they're measuring the depth. and
Right.
They're actually doing a lot of good things.
Looking in people's windows.
Don't
Yeah,
taking
yeah.
photos.
Don't we already have a bathymetry map?
I don't
of
think we
the-
do.
I'll send you some, I thought Sean Hayden sent me one.
I thought there was one. I feel like I've seen one, but I
That'd be
don't know.
great if you'd send me.
It would actually be good if they had an old one to do a new one,
Yeah,
to see how it
Oh,
changed,
to see
because
the
I don't-
change.
the
I don't-
silting and whatever, I bet.
Oh, okay, I mean, but I think the one I have is.
There's a couple, but we'll see.
Be
this
nice, it'd be
weekend.
cool if they had one from
I
like
feel
20 years
I
ago and
found
see
one when
what
I was trying
happened.
to look to see how deep it was. I feel
Maybe they're
right,
a little
that's a
more
depth
aware.
map we're talking
Yeah.
about. I feel like I found one online at
Well, the
state,
students are gonna be like,
whatever, deep or something.
Yeah.
No, this one came from Sean.
Oh,
"Feel very
Which?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they did their own. I mean, it's not that, with drones now, it's not that hard. You just may lay out a grid, and it's, the drones are so accurate now, you can just basically lay out a grid and it'll just fly the grid and take the
They have a
measurements.
really cool place where you can send your lake and somebody does it, carves it out like a.
Mhm.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
nice.
that is.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah,
see
I've
that?
seen those.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yep, they have them
Have
all
them
in
do one.
Maine. Like every different
Yes, it is.
Got them.
It's like,
So,
and for the one hour, and like show like, boat wrecks and stuff like that, it's like.
one of the things, I don't know if I can request this. Google Earth, I cannot get a road view. You know how you can get,
Right.
sometimes on Google Earth, you can
Street,
get a
like,
street
like you're
view.
standing and
Mhm,
walking.
right.
Can't get it around the lake.
Oh.
That would be
That
awesome.
would be
around the
cool,
lake.
but
Must
they,
have
they
done it.
haven't driven it?
They
Oh,
haven't
imagine.
driven around the
They
lake.
haven't
That's
driven around the
interesting.
lake.
It's
Why
just
not?
not urban enough.
Everybody
Yeah, but
does.
it's
It's a
technically a
state
state road,
road.
a state road, you think
Yeah,
they
it's a
would
state
have.
road.
You think they would have,
I
it's a
mean,
numbered
there
road.
may be
Somebody told them
And
not
if
to.
somebody can think of an idea, if somebody can,
Somebody lives
maybe
on
if
the-
somebody has an idea of maybe a way that I can record
If we just
something,
do our own
because
little
I really
local
want to
Google.
have a record of what exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, there's people that have these pre-existing fences and then they want to replace it and they say, oh, well, we're gonna replace it exactly as,
Yeah.
and then
They
then
go.
they
Show
put
up,
in
yeah,
something
right.
which I'm dealing with now. And I want a record of it.
Mhm.
And the thing is if I had,
What's that?
I just dropped down 45 on East Shore Road.
East
oh,
Shore.
East Shore has it, but I
East
don't
Shore,
think
but-
West Shore does.
Warren.
So it's West Shore that you wanted?
Yeah.
Yeah, East Shore is Warren.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's West,
You just said
West
the lake,
Shore.
okay?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
you
She
sorry.
did, she
Right?
did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they don't have it on West Shore.
Yeah, because that's on a state road.
Yeah.
I
Well,
thought it
yeah,
is.
it
Yeah,
is.
Well,
It is.
478 it
It's-
says
yeah,
here,
that's-
but
Route
it's-
478.
It's not highlighted, yes.
Yeah.
they're
Technically a
not.
state
It's
road.
technically a state road.
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
So if anybody
478,
can think of
So
something that I
if you
could
click
do to
on
get
this,
maybe a
Little
record of.
dude.
Well, we get the high
I
school
thought
kids
you
in
went
it.
from the lake and took
Well,
photographs.
that's for the shoreline,
Yeah.
to
Right.
get a record of.
You could do
And I'm
something
supposed,
similar.
I am
So I can
supposed to
get
go
this.
out with because we haven't had
Really
a,
should show them.
I don't know.
whatever the police thing,
Some of this-
people
Uh-huh.
monitor the
Oh,
boat
training,
guide.
yeah, the-
Yeah, so I think I'm supposed to go out with them sometime soon and take a
Pictures of
record
the
of
shoreline
that.
of all the
Yeah.
docks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
that's.
I'm supposed to do that, but I would like to have also a
Well, just
road.
get a car with a sunroof and a high school kid with it.
Yeah, just video yourself.
Yeah.
Do it from the lake.
Get a convertible. The
No,
kid
no,
could be
that'd be a
standing up
big
like.
video.
No, you
So,
get
yeah.
John with his tandem bike
We can
and you
go out-
sit on the back.
I would pay
GoPro.
money to see that.
I think that's GoPro.
Yep.
That's-
Take you
But
to
then
the
I'd
GoPro.
be going like this.
I'd pay to see that too.
Oh, man, all good stuff. Let's talk.
It's like, okay,
All right.
enough fun. Break's over.
But,
Okay,
yeah.
economic development.
Yeah,
Did
so
not meet.
we did not meet, but I just wanted to let you all know that I think it's really exciting. The EDC, the new EDC person, for the COG, Northwest Hills COG,
Mhm.
has, come up with a deal with CT Main Street, which is this great nonprofit that works with towns to look at their main streets and help revitalize and fill empty stores, and it's all about vitality. And it's wonderful, and I've gone to some of their workshops, but to be a member, it's pretty pricey for a small town. So what they've done is like, I think they use some grant money to kind of almost get like a membership for the Northwest Corners. So they've scheduled a walkthrough in the depot with their consultants, and they come and like do an evaluation of your downtown and then make some recommendations. So if we have that back in time for the P O C D, it might be kind of interesting
Yeah.
to just see. I'm assuming, they'll talk about infrastructure, sidewalks, stuff that we know, but they might have some other ideas. They often talk about facade improvement. They don't want to see anything empty, obviously, but we don't have a lot of empty. So
Not
it'll
here.
be interesting to see what they say.
Good to have a look at Marbledale too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you get one per
Oh.
Yeah.
town,
Mhm. It's like,
not 5.
101.5, I just want to.
There's another GoPro adventure. You can
Yeah,
go.
right.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I'm excited about the process, and then, if we find it really valuable, maybe we can do New Preston, Markleton, something, we'll
Mhm.
see.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, yeah, I just thought that, I think it's the end of this month or early next month, so it's coming up soon.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, plan of conservation and development. We had 2 outreach meetings that
We
were,
reached a lot of people.
we reached, there are more people
Reaching
sitting
out,
at this, there are
reaching
more
out.
people sitting at this table than
Yeah,
attended both
yeah,
meetings.
Wow.
Yeah,
Not a lot, you didn't miss a lot.
you
Yeah.
didn't miss anything, it was like,
No.
So
Yeah.
these, we should try and attend the 17th and the 20th, right?
Well,
Well-
I plan to be at both. so,
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
we were at both,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Okay.
but,
I was
yeah,
at 1.
and it's like,
No
it was,
issue.
it was interesting though. I mean, the woman at Marbledale was actually very informative about what goes on there and whatnot, and what doesn't go on
Yeah,
there.
that is good news.
And
The warden of the church,
yeah,
yeah,
and she
or
would,
one of the wardens.
yeah, and she was born and raised in Marbledale. So she,
Wow.
yeah, so she,
Waldron?
yeah,
She said something Waldron.
Annette, well, her maiden name was Waldron.
Yeah.
Annette Waldron.
Not that Waldron.
Well,
What?
What? GoPro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
and
we-
and the fact that Janet showed up at 30.
Yeah, Janet Hill showed up at the one at the library, which was great.
Yeah.
And we had I had a great conversation with her afterwards
That's
too.
That's
great.
good.
Because, usually the real meeting happens in the parking lot after the
That's
regular
right,
meeting,
yeah.
so it was like a very good
I'm glad
talk
you-
and, yeah,
I thought that was great, to have planning
Yeah.
and zoning having this
Talk- have a
conversation.
talk.
I found the conversation about rural character also sort of interesting and trying to sort of like explain why that's not okay anymore. And
We don't use
also,
that term of art anymore.
You're right.
no, I
Take it
know,
out,
but there
yeah.
was
we had someone show up
a
who was
citizen adamant.
it was,
I
yeah,
remember
adamant
There
about
was a guy
putting
in the
it.
beginning when we first started.
He was
That's
at the
the same,
meeting
yeah,
and he was
okay, yeah.
adamant about putting it into the plan. I was
But,
like.
but what I
this is
felt
like-
was really helpful, and I think because it's come up in some of the surveys we've done at EDC, I think in the intro or whatever, sort of overarching,
Mhm.
is that what people value is their quality of life. And for some
Right.
people, that is,
They equate, they,
conservation and being able to enjoy the outdoors,
Sure.
recreation,
Mhm.
or for others, it's the education, or in the senior survey we did, it was safety was a big
Yeah.
thing. So that all contributes to their quality of life.
right, and Yeah, and well, Demi said it, 25 years ago when he wrote the foreword to the National Resources Inventory Report. He goes, our greatest asset, maybe our only asset, is our
Only
quality,
natural resource.
Right.
is our quality of life,
But I
is our
feel like
lifestyle.
people
It's
don't,
like
like,
reminding
it's,
it.
I think it's time to, like, remind people that, and so
Yeah.
looking
They
at
may
all
be
the
conf-
different things that contribute,
Well,
it's
but
not
They-
just
they-
one thing.
Right, they may be
It really
conflate, I think they're conflating the term because it's a term they've heard for years and what they really mean is what you're talking about, but they're using the term rural character, but it's not really.
But I think the
rural.
thing that really
Right.
bugs me.
Right.
It's not rural. It's
The thing that bugs me about it is that they talk about the quality of life and they don't, they talk about it being green as opposed to being a community. And they don't get that what makes the quality of life in a community is not your drive-by, it's the people that you have serving you, it's the businesses that,
Vitality.
it's the vitality of the
culture.
community.
Yep.
And that's where the quality of life comes in. It doesn't come in because there's a lot of trees.
Well, right, well, the thing is too,
Yeah.
like, it's not just that land is conserved, if we didn't have an organization like Steep Rock maintaining trails that allowed you to enjoy those,
Yeah,
it would
again,
just be
it's
like a
community.
drive-by, like
Yeah,
you're
it's
saying.
community,
Right.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
those
yeah.
nonprofits that we have that provide culture, that provide
Yeah.
recreation, that,
Sure,
all of
it's
that.
all of it,
It's the
and
fabric.
I think, I know that, I mean, I pushed back kind of hard on it because, but it's not that I disagreed so much, it's just that it's hard to get people to get off of their hobby horse of their catchphrases. And they're, it's like, it's like a lot of times you start talking to folks who worry about, oh, it's gonna be, they're gonna pave over this town like New Milford. And I'm like, I was like, that is so not going to happen. I can't even start to explain why that, but I think I gave him a 4-word answer, right? I said, do you know what? It's not gonna happen. We have no sewer. And that's the short answer. It's like,
There's a funny thing that back when, I don't know, we're going back 40 years, 50 years now, that New Milford didn't actually have a plan. And when McDonald's decided to locate in New Milford bought the plan projection that McDonald's had developed for why they were going to put a McDonald's on Route 7 in New Milford. And they projected the economic growth, the movement up from Danbury, the entire.
Oh, yeah, like their
Scope.
business plan,
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Because they weren't gonna put a McDonald's in where else?
Yeah.
No, we're gonna put it there because we know what's gonna happen,
Coming, yeah.
what's coming. And it was the only chance New Milford had to be forewarned. Not that it helped, but they, well.
At least it's not a bank.
Right.
Yeah.
right. Mhm.
That's true,
Yeah,
true.
yeah, at least
On
they
the
saved, at least they
green or
saved the
something.
green.
Yeah.
And it's like,
No, but
they
it
put
did
it,
give
they put it on the
them- it
Route
did
7
give them a
strip.
heads
It's
up.
like,
About what was coming.
Yeah. Well, and this is the thing, with, they're, for decades, people have been, bemoaning, it's like, well, we're just, this development's gonna come up 202 and it's gonna race through Marlboro, it's
I
gonna come
get
down
it.
from Bandon and
I
it's
get
like,
it at least a couple times a month.
and it's so not going to happen because it can't.
There's been no
happen.
building there. Why are people going to you?
No, as far as, that
Here.
it's, that 202 is gonna turn into routes,
Route
like
7.
Route 7 of New Milford and
But there's been no building there.
Right,
Exactly.
it's like, yeah, in fact,
100
buildings are empty there.
Yeah.
It's it's worse than no building
You know,
there.
when
It's like-
The background idea for that is you can't expand commercially up Route 7 past New Milford because the road just doesn't accommodate you.
Right.
So the only flat road between New Milford and Torrington is us.
Mhm.
And so from a geographic point of view, when you look at where would you be able to move development, you want to go north on the flat road, well, we're it. The problem is that we saw that and we started making efforts to make sure Marbledale couldn't just blow out that New Preston couldn't just blow out, that, Woodville, of course, doesn't exist anymore, which makes it a little bit trickier, but it's no longer commercial.
Mm.
So
A
there,
little bit.
it is a little bit, but it doesn't have the commercial potential that it
Eight
had
lots.
before.
Well, and even then, it's like, it's like, I think I said at that meeting, is like, you can't build a big box on a septic tank.
Yeah, no.
And it's like, so,
Yeah.
the type of growth that they're fearing, it can't happen. I mean, the health department would never sign off.
Yeah,
It's like,
I mean,
it just, you can't
But
do
that's,
it.
but that's been the thinking for 30 years is we're the flat road going north.
Mhm.
We're the straight flat road going north.
So unless they extend the sewer system.
No,
But there is no sewer system even on 202
No.
there, is there? I mean, it stops,
No.
where it stops after the hospital, I think? I don't even know how
I
far
don't
the
know
sewer
how
system
far it
goes up on
goes.
202.
Police station, have septic?
Well, they have that huge apartment building,
It's
so.
probably
Yeah.
has enormous, that can't be on a
That's not
septic.
Right,
There's
No,
gotta
that's
be
gotta be
somewhere.
in a sewer.
And then the school. then you
I
have
know,
the
there's
school.
like
Yeah, a lot of
Cranberries
commercial,
just
Where's this?
Mm-hmm.
anyway, so,
202.
202 to 109,
Oh.
probably.
but that doesn't
maybe.
change the fact that
Just past
Marbledale
109.
has the potential to become more commercial and less mixed use. And that's been a problem because we can't get Marbledale to understand that they're gonna lose all their houses along 202 eventually. At some point, those,
Yeah, but we're replaced with what?
well,
I mean, it's like you look around Marbledale, I mean, thank God the White Horse is there, right?
yeah.
I mean, it's like,
It's good drive by, because you're right, it
Yeah.
connects New
Well,
Milford to
and thank
Litchfield,
God
but
the animal hospital's there.
yeah,
Yeah.
right,
No,
yeah.
but there could be doctor's
But-
offices where there.
yeah, there could, and there are,
Yeah.
Altarelli moved over there
Yeah.
off the green,
Mhm.
but we are not large enough to maintain a large customer base.
Yeah, exactly.
We
Right.
just aren't, there's not gonna be a
Yeah.
huge store, there's little boutique-y stuff there
Mhm.
now,
Mhm.
and that's
It'll
about
be
all
Well,
it
that's
can
the
support.
same thing with Bantam, is that there isn't enough south of Litchfield to do much more to Bantam than
Yeah,
it
I mean,
has.
maybe another little restaurant or
Yeah.
something, but we've
Yeah,
already
that's the-
got
yeah.
several.
And once you get past that, there's no reason other than the Gooseboro, which is worth going to, but
The drive-in, yeah.
anyway,
Anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a huge danger.
no, not really.
Yeah.
No, we're more in danger of not having
Yeah.
enough people.
Right, well,
Young people.
well, I say we stand firm on, we're not reintroducing the term rural character.
Yeah,
into the plan.
absolutely.
And
I
we
mean,
can,
yeah.
we can, but we can, it's like, and, for people, it's like, it's like, we're not, for the simple reason, we're not a rural community. We haven't been for a long time. Rural communities don't have $2 billion brand lists.
Yeah,
Okay, rural communities don't have median home sale prices of $1.7 million. Okay, we gotta get over ourselves.
that's why I think when we talk about quality of life,
Yeah.
moving forward, it always has to be based on the idea of an organic community.
Mhm.
It's not about scenery, it's about people.
Yeah.
And if we don't emphasize that, then people won't understand what quality of life is.
Right.
You want to have quality of life, go to the center of Warren. I mean,
So
it's people.
just to throw out, because I find it fascinating, over the weekend, we had forgetting what they call it, but a celebration, two new homeowners in the Habitat
Right.
development.
Oh, so it's
And-
built out now, right? Is it?
It's not completed, but they've got two that just went in recently, two more going in this summer, and 3 or 4 more lots to go.
Mhm.
But those houses are around 1,500 or 1,600 square feet, little
Mhm.
capes, 2-bedroom,
2-bedroom, 2-story, I know.
tiny little lot, and the last one was valued at $450
Wow.
on my field off of McGat.
Yeah.
In the Marble Deck,
Yeah.
right near Quarry Ridge,
Next to Quarry Ridge, yeah. So-
condo.
400,000.
450.
A
450.
2-bedroom
Yep.
house on a
Yep.
postage stamp lot.
That can't be expanded on because the
Right.
septic,
Because they're technically 2-bedroom septics.
They are
Mhm.
2-bedroom septics.
Mhm.
There's really not much you could do. I mean, they're nice, they're cute, they have a basement, and it's a perfect starter home for a little
Attached
family.
garage, right?
Detached garage?
Mhm.
Detached.
Attached.
Oh,
Because
oh, the new
The
ones.
newer
The
ones
new
are
ones.
stick built.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay, right, okay, because the old ones, the original ones
They
had the shared
turned,
garage.
the modulars turned out to be more expensive than stick built. That's why they,
Really?
That's why they
Habitat for
switched back.
Humanity went to,
Yeah.
They'll go either way, and the trust
Right.
is doing the same. They
Mhm.
price it and will do either.
Well, yeah, when
modular
when
or
my
stick.
field started, modular was cheaper,
Yeah,
but that,
same with the
that,
trust.
right.
The Vincent property. But,
um,
yeah, but it's just frightening to me that the market value on those is $450.
Yeah.
Because
and well,
Like,
in terms
what
of like like the condos at, Quarry Ridge, and they don't even get listed anymore. When
No.
when one
Well, same
becomes
with Big
available, it
Brook.
gets sold private.
Yeah,
They
people
never
are
even
good.
go on the multiple
I
listing
think I
service.
just heard, I forget what the price was, but it was a B Brook and it was close to 500.
Oh, that's B Brook. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I'm talking
But those
Quarry
don't
Ridge.
go on the market
Yeah,
either.
Quarry
Right,
Ridge,
but, like-
they get sold privately. You don't, if you have a condo at Quarry Ridge and you want to sell it, you don't even need a realtor. You can just sell it privately
Yeah.
and get top dollar. It doesn't even make it to the listing. That's how desperate we are. So,
It's not
um,
on the way.
okay, so a couple quick things here for the plan. One, we have two more sessions, outreach sessions, input sessions, one in New Preston, on the 17th, which is 2 weeks from tomorrow. And then the next Saturday after that here. And I'm assuming we're gonna do it in this room because it'll probably be hot. This has air conditioning, so.
are we gonna have enough room?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends how many of us show up.
I better rent an overfill.
Yeah, and it's like, well, we can put extra chairs out
Yeah,
there.
we can put a screen out there and make it. work.
Yeah, And I also wanted to give you, I'll send it to you, but I actually started, remember I told you we had to have a chapter on what they call plan consistency.
Mhm.
It's like, in other words, we have to have a chapter in the plan that shows that our plan is consistent with the state plan and the
Yeah.
regional plan. I've started that
Wow.
chapter. It's boilerplate.
You're-
It's like, you
you're going
basically,
straight to heaven for that one.
Yeah.
well, it's a lot of it's just cut and paste. It's like, you go line by line,
Kind of like a compliance report.
exactly, line by line, and then you say, okay, we addressed that in chapter 1, and then we addressed that in chapter 3, or whatever, and it's like, it's a lot of cut and paste, and I'm most of the way
Little
through it.
halos beginning. to
Really?
form.
It's like-
Hmm.
it's like- it's like-
Recorded for posterity.
Right. So I just wanted to let you know that that is in the works and it's almost done. And I'll send it to you and I guarantee you'll look it over and never read it. You'll be like, thank God Wayne did that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I want to start a pool that the minute we go to a public hearing for the town, when we get this done, that there's going to be at least 20 people who want to know why they didn't know this was coming.
Oh,
I know.
Oh, the over under? So I'm gonna say
Oh.
7 minutes.
Yeah.
Before the first person, yeah.
We-
No, it's not if, it's when.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got $20 on 7 minutes.
It's
The
always
over
good to
under.
place bets before these
And they're all-
meetings.
Yeah.
Well,
I
Been
forgot,
having all
I was
these
gonna
Where
mention
did you
to
live?
all
Oh,
around
I know.
development, we had
I'm
the
on the
block
green, I'm in
party,
New
you
Preston,
guys
I'm
were
in
there,
Marble
EDC
Vale.
was there,
Mhm.
until we all got rained out.
Yeah, it was great until the
Did you
heavens
talk-
opened up.
Did you guys
So
talk to
was it-
anybody?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
People came up to us and
Yeah.
we were talking to
Really
them.
good, because so this was done by then.
Yes,
You
we
had
had
the
it out.
cover article of the newsletter.
I
Yeah.
did.
This has been in the selectmen's, it's hanging in the market,
Yeah.
like,
We at the block party, we had lots of people
I
come up
even- I
and
even
nobody
put it
showed
on
up at the meetings.
Facebook. I put it on Facebook a couple of times.
good,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Little,
Yeah.
whatever
I'll
that
have to try
site
to
is.
remind
Well, you know,
Mandy to run it again when it gets
I'm
closer
of
to
two
the-
minds. Either people they're too busy and they don't care, or they're pretty much happy with what we're doing. Because if they weren't happy,
Yeah.
You'd
they'd
hear
be
about
showing up.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Agreed.
like-
But there's been a lot of publicity.
Well, I mean.
We did what we could.
Yeah,
I
we were
mean,
at the Black Party. It was the cover article of the newsletter that was mailed to every household and is emailed if you're signed up for the email. And this flyer went in the selectmen's email a couple
And it's
times.
been on Facebook.
Well, then.
And it
And
was
it's
up.
hanging in the
They
grocery
had their
store,
shit,
you know, at the market. And so
And I had my laptop there doing the scroll at
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
block party and people,
Put
we
this up in-
talked to a number of people.
that's
Jimmy and I,
great. Well
we-
done.
yeah, we sat at the table and people were just telling up and it's like, you know, basically they were like, what the hell is this? What are you two old guys
Yeah,
doing
what are you
here?
two
Yeah.
You guys giving away?
It's like-
Well, that's because we were hiding out
What are
next
you
to the
selling?
firehouse. Nobody
Yeah,
wanted-
we were
Like
off in a
jumping in
corner
your
hoping that
car.
nobody would see us, and of course, everyone saw us. Yeah, it's like so, but it was fine until it bored.
Bored.
But Demi was kind enough to give me a ride home because I walked.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
nice.
So I walked and I didn't bring an umbrella, but I had a cart because I thought, oh, I have this stuff. I'll just wheel it home because it's just right down the road. It's great. I mean, I've got it
That's
so.
not gonna keep you dry.
Yes, and I was sitting there, it's like, I've got it so together, and then, until I didn't.
Well, I was at a private memorial service on Sunday. And people were were pulling into the driveway. And you could just see the lights of the car. That was all you could see. And we had 2 or 3 people that were relatives of the family. But nobody had an umbrella except me. So I gave them my umbrella and I stood at the door and opened the door so that they could get in and out because the rain gutter was just overflowing down the front of the door.
That was insane.
And they literally went out and back 15 times to get people out of their cars and into the house. Yeah.
I was working
Yeah, it was
outside.
Torrential.
I was recording a concert, believe it or not,
Yeah.
on Sunday in Woodstock.
Um,
And, yeah, it's a great, you guys know the Maverick? It's like, it's in Woodstock. It's literally a shack in the woods. And it is the oldest, outdoor summer concert hall in the United States.
Really?
And they've been holding chamber music concerts there for like well over a century. And it is literally a shack in the woods. My barn is built better than this place,
Oh,
okay?
geez.
And it just has a little stage and some lights and it's this
Wow.
quirky guy who just built it by hand like a long time ago. And it's great. You walk in, they have all these photos of like or at least famous artists who played there or whatever. It's a really cool thing. It's like, it's one of the few jobs I still do because I get to go to Woodstock.
Yeah.
Peace, love, dope. You know?
The bear is still going, isn't it?
Huh?
Is the bear still going?
I
out
think it
in
was.
Bearsville?
I think so.
Yeah.
Mhm. And,
And the Joyous Lake is no longer the Joyous Lake.
no, it's something else now. Yeah.
Sure, we're sorting stuff for the green fair.
I know. I'll be there
I
soon.
did,
Good.
I took care of all the
Stuff
food
for
stuff
you.
today. Okay, so that's all I have for the plan. We have, what's that?
I said I signed up for the grilling duty. I enjoyed flipping burgers last year.
You're on. You're on.
I just, it'll be like 10:30.
Great.
Okay. Plenty of time for lunch.
Yeah, that you'll be setting up.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I got someone, oh, good. I got someone to start the
So we
fire.
were doing egg sandwiches last year, right?
Oh, yeah, you were helping me. Yeah, yeah. Well, if you want to show up earlier, you can help me do that.
After I wasn't doing much.
Uh-huh.
What day is it?
Yeah, we're-
13.
13.
To the food.
Not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Okay, so, all right, so let's hope we can get some people to show up these last 2, and I'll send you this scintillating chapter when it's done. And so it's starting to come together, folks. It's like these next few months, it'll start to like, we'll have a complete first draft, and then once we're satisfied with that, we'll schedule a public hearing.
Great.
And then we'll
Have
see
to
who,
say, it is not as painful as the last time.
boy, isn't that the truth? Well, I was brought in to rescue
Thank
it.
God. I was-
It was, okay, communications, you had something that you sent us, some land use seminar, or
Oh,
did you
yeah.
all get
Seminar.
that?
Extra credit.
No, we all have our 4 hours in
Yeah,
right now.
I'm just
if you
gonna
wanted
send you
to.
as I
if
get
you
them
want,
because
yeah.
that's what I'm supposed to do.
Mhm.
And if you wanna do them, you can do them.
Yeah, well, we just did that one a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Well,
it's-
last year,
yeah,
actually, so
yeah.
we're
But
actually
it-
good for.
But some of
we're-
these things might be, it was
It was an
about,
affordable housing.
it was,
Yeah, it was about
I think it was about affordable
Yeah.
housing. I can't remember, you can't expect me to remember, I just send them out.
I know, will you add me to the
Just glad
list?
you remembered to send it out.
Yeah, yes.
Add me to your list, please, 'cause I don't remember
Okay,
that one, I get
okay.
a bunch too.
Yeah,
but I don't
well,
think it was
since
right.
we all did the bar association one, we're good for another year.
Yeah.
No,
But sometimes they might be a little more interesting or a little more
On a topic,
concentrated.
yeah. Because this one you said is just housing.
8 years.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna send them out.
It
It's,
was
it's not a requirement if you've already, if you attended the Connecticut Bar Association.
Yeah, I actually may attend that other thing that the planning association, the other one that I got.
Yeah.
I'm gonna attend that.
Yeah.
Okay, no administrative business?
No.
None.
And then-
Okay,
Make a
Can we
Okay.
budget a GoPro for her?
yeah. it's just-
I'll do it.
All right,
I'll
folks,
take my
we're-
e-bike out.
We're,
Where are you going with it?
Around the lake.
Okay.
We have,
I
we
wonder
have
if
like
a
5 of
GoPro on your head
It
while
might be
you're
cute to
running
get-
them. Yeah,
around.
Michael's got the
Yeah.
pulleys and stuff. for-
Wouldn't it be like, wouldn't it be
Yeah.
like Blair Witch Project shaky
Yeah.
cam, like, yeah.
Very cool.
Stick it right under your bike helmet.
Except we probably should not have audio on it.
Yeah.
No, because you're
You think?
commenting.
All right, I have no more business, folks. I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Wayne.
When's your due
Nothing
date